As more random more diced in a cool the card. Checks out well. Checks out. Don't think we've lost to Yawgmoth yet. First time for everything, although looks like we're probably going to be doing pretty good this game. So they have a Bowmaster here, so I guess I'm just going to try to fire the Bowmaster in the Hierarch. Might get a little mana screwed here, but seems fine. Okay, so I can go Ice the Pendlehaven. They'll respond with Bowmaster. I'll get pinged for 2. Oh, they have Chord of Calling? Chord for 2. Kind of the same thing. Just make them play into my Fury. I'm gonna be on SCG Dallas on Sunday, Corey. Oh wait, people will be in town. Maybe I just need to make some plans or something. I don't know. I have plans Saturday, I think. Wait, maybe I don't. If you want to do something, Corey, message me. I should probably tweet, maybe get like a dinner or something. I had a dinner like at the RC Dallas. It was so fun. No one from chat can come. Yeah, I have D&D Sunday night, so I'm either gonna like be late for D&D or scrub the Sunday event. Grab dinner after win the 10K. I have D&D after, so unlikely. Unless, but if I just go, if it goes so late I miss D&D, I'd be down, I guess. Scrub with beans. I might play mono black, no coffers, but yeah, we'll see. Would like to draw green, but maybe that's asking for too much. Oh, this is because I didn't realize it didn't have binding up. Not really like a good board for Fury, huh? Yeah, I think I have to go for the all natural. I don't know if that's the, I don't know, I'm gonna just go for the very normal Solitude. Look at the halfling, it's interesting. I think I want to exile the young wolf because I can maybe Fury the orc army. I'm gonna save the binding for the beanstalk, or that's the cauldron. Why the no coffers version? I mean, I've always felt like that version's better than coffers. It's so much more consistent. You can you actually get a sideboard, and you don't have to keep every awful hand. In coffers, you have to keep all of the worst hands you've ever seen because you can just mulligan into non-functional hands so easy. But I think the deck also gets to main deck 4 Shieldreds very comfortably compared to coffers, which is very good against the bean deck. I don't own 4 Shieldreds. I don't know how many Shieldreds I have. I have more than 0, I think, and I think I have less than 4. So I have to figure that out if I play the deck. Magic is showing sports that Fallout chat. Can you share them? Yeah, yeah, you can share them if they're interesting. The mono black deck is also so cool. Yeah, I know Shieldred's so expensive. I own some. I bought some for I bought at least one for the Yawgmoth in Vegas. I think I maybe borrowed one. I don't know. I know that I bought 2 and I gave 1 to a friend of mine because he's, the best. I can't remember. I have some number. I'm gonna do some, searching tonight, and I also don't own beans. That's another thing. I own all the mono black deck. I don't actually have any beans. And I couldn't find any in stock at any of the stores I usually frequent. So that was another issue. Well, I'm sure I could get some. I don't think that's actually going to be that big a deal. Persist Neoform. Oh man, this looks so cool. I've played decks like this in the past, or tried to. I like the looks of it. I think that you're probably like, the problem is like you're just unlikely that good at affinitying out a fast Sojourner's Companion, or like you're just not going to draw them that often. Like here's the problem with affinity reanimator decks. This is something we tried to do in the past. The problem is affinity reanimator decks have to mulligan really aggressively because their hands have to be explosive and broken, otherwise they're just non-functional or slow. They have to mulligan really aggressively, but affinity decks don't mulligan very well because you need to have all of those pieces together for your deck to like function, you know? Does that make sense? So like that's the big problem. That being said, I think for your idea, I think you've executed it well. I think you've done the thing. I'm trying to look and see, like, you know, missing pieces or like poor deck building, but it all looks pretty reasonable to me. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see anything I would obviously change about the main deck. Oh, I guess that one problem is you don't have enough enablers for Asmo. Yeah, you're kind of low on Asmo enablers. It's maybe okay to just kind of cheat on it a little bit, but that's one thing to not like, I guess. So it'd be good to hit another Teferi off this Bloodbraid Elf. I think I don't want to put another Beanstalk into place. It's like just too big of a liability. Lets them double block the Bloodbraid Elf too. Just have 3 lethal attackers next turn seems pretty fine. Do you believe Mod is becoming Armors if you could value being the quickest? I mean, quickest is maybe not the right word, but there is like a bit of a Beans arm race, yeah. Would Troll be good to include? Yeah, you could try to play Troll. I mean, I guess you don't have that many swamps, but you could cut like... I don't know. I guess you have to play all these artifact lands too. It's not immediately obvious to me how you would include Troll, but... Okay, found the Teferi, so this should be a win. Just bounce the Bowmaster. Struggled to find our third land for a while there, but looks like we got the job done. You don't update it mono black list. I'll post it tomorrow when we play it tomorrow, I think. I don't like to post lists before I play them. Because like I like, you know, like to like just be able to tweak it to the last minute. We lost to Scam. We got kinda scammed. Artifacts, ETB tapped artifact swamps, I guess. They're not artifact swamps, right? This is not a swamp. You can't search for artifact land. Looks good though. Sniper looks fine. I think we've got a good first draft. But you know, again, the problem is your deck has to mulligan a lot and does not mulligan well. Oh, Sojourner's Companion enables it. All right. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Not very well, but like well enough probably. Okay, I'm on board. Cool. Whew. So we're on the draw against Yawgmoth. We have a Fury hand, natural Beanstalk. I think I keep. Like, I'm just kind of comfortable missing a land drop here. And I'm pretty likely to find one in the top 3. Obviously, hopefully find one a little earlier. Yeah, just got a lot of lands in the deck. Dark Hero, the 2 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Always happy to see the second month. Mystic Island, obviously not the best card to draw, but we will fucking take it. I was like, what legendary spell are they casting? Cool. So we cut second Lrien for Murderous Cut? No, you're coming in during a sideboarded game. We cut the second Lrien for the Besage you in the main deck again. And that's largely because I cut the Commandeer from the sideboard, so I wanted one extra tool against Yawgmoth. I did stack my triggers poorly here, but they can't save anything with the Cauldron anyways, but they, yeah, it doesn't actually end up being different. How's overall record? It's on the screen, 15-5 with the Deep Friends. The big young wolf. Nearly a full-grown wolf by my estimations. I'm scared enough of Cauldron to just get that off the field here. I think we just ice the 4/4 Young Wolf on their upkeep because they don't have a Bowmaster. Is this the first Emerge card to be relevant in Modern? I mean, I would guess so. I mean, there's not any other good Emerge cards, you know. Or, like, this is the best Emerge card by a million miles. As far as I know, there hasn't been, like, another one that's been played. Oh, but they have Chord for Bowmaster. Okay. That makes some sense. This is their last card. Bowmaster is really good against us. Yeah, I think Shardless Agent don't put anything into play. Next turn we can, like, merge. Maybe they just attack with this and I just, like, chump here. Not a good spot, obviously. Trading here seems okay. Yeah, I just can't really take 6 super well in the spot either. They top deck Grist, pretty good. Okay, might lose a game here. Do you have any lines? Not really. Alright, let's go to game 3. Yeah, maybe I'm just like just not supposed to be using my Fire Ices that aggressively. I mean, gaining 4 here there seemed okay, but didn't play around with the Chord of Calling. We knew they had Bowmaster, but they could have had Chord of Calling, and then just like saving it for Bowmaster is so safe for those kind of spots. Yeah, I feel like I have seen people play Lashweed Lurker, actually. I don't know if they played it in, like, Eldrazi or something. Okay, on the play. Lilians are for Burn and Red-Green Valakut. Could have waited on the Fury so they couldn't grow their guy to 4/4. Yeah, maybe. I don't think Elesh Norn's great. It's, like, super weak to Grist. It's pretty slow in general, too. Like, usually game's kind of over by turn 5. One way or the other. It might be better than, like, the second Elder Deep-Fiend, but Elder Deep-Fiend's been kind of good to just, like, pressure them in this matchup. Charmaw is for Tron. It is almost exclusively... I mean, it's not exclusively, like, you bring some copies in against, like, Valakut and Titan and Scales and Hammer, but it's mostly for Tron. Sorry, I've been, like, so burpy lately. I've been girding it up. Hope it's not too gross on stream. Guess I should have un-of-sixed in case they minused, but did seem kind of unlikely that they would minus there, I guess. Well... Let's get going. Put it in the tank. Elven Chorus. Glad we have the Leyline Binding for that. Don't think we're going to put the 4th bean into play off the Shardless this turn. Good for us they don't have a Bowmaster either, of course. I'll put it into play. We're pretty flooded. We kind of have to get the ball rolling. You know what I mean? They let the Grist die. Kind of scared of a Shieldred, but you know the one spell we do have left. I guess we have Agent, but we have a Solitude still. Second Elven Chorus is kind of surprising. Into Cauldron, and so they can Cauldron the Grist. Okay. Another land. Let's draw 4 more cards. Are we gonna lose? Like, they get to untap with Elven Chorus here. And Cauldron. Maybe I wasn't supposed to main phase the Solitude, but it like stops the this Grist thing from plussing. Can like draw into a Binding. You know, more stuff, right? Also, like, with the Grist, like, they get to, like, clear a dead card from the top of their library. They found Yawgmoth. Yeah, definitely not feeling great. Need a deep friend. So they only have 1 mana left this turn. Oh, they have a land drop. Okay, big turn. How did we draw another land? Like, what the fuck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have 1, 2. We have 5 lands left in our deck after this. I think I just bounced the Chorus. Hope to draw Solitude, Fury, Binding, something like that. Yeah, I mean, killing the Yawgmoth here doesn't really do anything because they have another Cauldron. I attacked in case they blocked with the Yawgmoth, which is maybe kind of silly. Maybe they just like never ever do that. I'm gonna bounce their Yawgmoth. Just tax their mana as much as possible, and we can still draw Fury, Solitude, Leyline Binding. We draw another land. Bright side, only 4 lands left in our deck. We lost a Scam last league. They hit, and then they hit. Oh wait, well they know they have Grist on top. That's actually cute. Waiting to plus your Grist until you see Grist on top. I actually like that a lot. We are 35 card deeps, no Furies, 1 Solitude, 1 Binding. So, no Elder Deep friends. So the rest of my deck is very, very stacked, and I have 4 beans in play. And they only have 2 mana left here. Uh-oh. Alright, pretty dead now. Tough stuff. I have 3 footballs on the sideboard for scam. Burn feels pretty good. Brought me some trophies. I'm very against the crashing footfalls plan. Like, one, it's like, I mean, I guess you have the Bloodbraid Elves too, but like Beanstalk is good against scam too. It's like in a lot of ways better, or oftentimes better. Like you cascade into footfalls and you're like super weak to scam fury. Beanstalk is much better to draw than footfalls too. I agree it's probably helpful against the burn matchup, but we have the Leylines at least. First time we've lost to Yawgmoth. I think I put back Solitude on the mulligan. It's kind of close between that and Binding, but I can Binding turn 2 and I go Agent into Bloodbraid. Isn't Force of Vigor worth of the matchup? I mean, it only has one target. Like, I don't like to bring in Force of Vigor in decks where it's like usually just going to be a 2-for-1 in their favor. It can only hit Cauldron. That doesn't really seem like a card you want. So Bauble Delta Breeding Pool. What are they doing? Maybe they're playing the Menguchi Questing Druid Murktide, Teamer Murktide. Or I guess Murktide, like Questing Druid over Murktide. Which he was like 9-1 on stream with or something. Yeah, there it is. Could just be Prowess also. Real Scalding Tarn, Misty Rainforest. I mean, yeah, Delta Misty Rainforest. This is like the Mingu list. Let's see if I can pull it up. I thought it was pretty cool looking. I'm not in love with playing Quested Druid alongside Counterspell, but he's only playing 3 counterspells. So maybe it's okay. I do really like Questing Druid. Yeah, so 3 counter... Oh, 4 Spell Pierce, though. Or 2 Spell Pierce, 2 Snare. I don't know. I also think in this list, Murktide is still probably better than Tarmogoyf, but whatever. You gotta play Tarmogoyf when you can, maybe. Playing 2 Snare seems pretty good right now in the B metagame, though. Am I still worried about the health of the format because of Cascade Bean decks? They don't seem to have really taken over, just another player. I don't know. There's a difference between like taking over and like being healthy for the format. It's also like been like it's been like 3 days since the BNR announcement and we've had no tournaments to some, you know what I mean. But I am still concerned. Yeah, the deck has been consistently impressively strong. I think that this is a big upgrade to the 4-color archetype, which is, you know, already like the second best deck in Modern or close to it. And I think the gameplay is like very consistent and like poor overall. I don't know, but it is kind of funny to say. It doesn't, you know, we had a BNR on Monday. It doesn't seem like the Bean decks have taken over. It's now Thursday. Like, and the deck is also kind of like very popular still, but it's just kind of funny. We had 2 challenges in the showcase. Not since the Monday BNR. And only like 2 top 8 and 3 events. Sure, I guess maybe we're just talking about different things. I guess we had, you know, 1 series of tournaments last weekend. I think we're gonna see a lot more of this deck and you know, top 8s and stuff, but it's just very early to say. Talking about doing last week, you said the deck was broken and you're scared the format couldn't handle it. I still think the deck's kind of broken and it's not healthy for the format. I mean, I don't know. When I say the format can't handle it, like, I think that this is going to be a tier 1 modern deck until, like, something is banned. It doesn't feel like a deck that's, like, super easy to hate out. And it's a deck that, like, mini strategies like Murktide, Hammer, Scales, Yawgmoth, they just struggle with it so much. Like, that was the first time we lost to Yawgmoth in, like, 6 matches against it or something. I don't know. This is not Cascade Valky. This is not Hogak, but it is like very reminiscent of like Uro, Mystic Sanctuary, Oko decks in my mind, where it's just like the best fair thing to be doing, and is like it is just like a little bit too powerful in these matchups. There's also a lot of different versions. There's this version. There's like the Time Warp versions. They're just playing Shardless Agent. There's Shardless Agent Art in play. There's a ton of different variants. Is the powerhouse in the beans or image 2 animals or triumphs on my nose? It's like all of the above. People have been saying this kind of constantly. Is it the beanstalk or is it MH2 spike? It's just all of it. It's the deck together. No, you know, I don't really get it. I'm gonna kill the channeler. They have 3 cards in their hand. Could be good to leave this back to chump, but I think getting in is okay also. What do you think of deck fading's version and sliding into footfalls against stuff like Scam? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like Beanstalk is better, or sorry, Beanstalk is also good against Scam. Maybe Rhinos is like marginally better, but it seems like a waste of sideboard slots if you like it to like make your matchup like your Cascades marginally better against like almost exactly Scam, because like it's like Scam and Burn, Scam and Burn, maybe like 4-color or something, not a 4-color, like Tron. But the thing is, you're not a good Rhinos deck. Like you don't have Force of Negation, you don't have like you don't have Subtlety, you don't have Mystical Dispute, you don't like Rhinos is so nice when you're just jamming Rhinos and backing it up with a lot of what did they hit? Spell Pierce Bauble. When you're just jamming Rhinos and you're backing it up with counter magic. I don't think it's nearly as good to just like randomly have in a deck like this. That being said, like I also say this, there's like still not a lot of wrong answers. Like siding into footfalls is not that bad. Like it obviously has its role and like you get to do the thing. You know, it's not like an incredibly wrong way to build the deck, but I think if you like sit and like reason it out, I don't think there's a very good argument for doing it. Modesty for the raid, hope you're doing well. IDK really don't think there's a competitive Beanstalk deck that doesn't play Solitude Fury, not even counting games against the mirror. I mean, there probably would be some. We've played a few without Solitude or Fury, but it doesn't really matter, right? Like, it's all good together. The combination is all good together, and like we've had like 2 years with Solitude, you know, less time with Leyline Binding, but it's clear that these cards are much more powerful because of Beanstalk, and Beanstalk is new. It's very powerful because of these cards. When people say stuff like, is it Binding Solitude or is it Beanstalk? Is it Triumphs that are broken? Usually it's like they just hate one of these cards and they want to argue that that's the card that should get banned instead. Is almost entirely what I hear when people talk about this. Which is like fine. It's fine for you to like hate one of these and like want them to be banned instead. That's allowed, but for the most part, like the deck just works together and the deck is good because the cards synergize so much, right? It's not like it's super deep. Yeah, if I didn't dislike all the cards, always allowed. Yeah, the most best thing about being are actually the elementals. Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I agree. I think the card would be much worse without Fury and Solitude being in the format. And this is a very ice-cold take. I think it's fair to see Beanstalk without the free 5-mana spells would be lackluster, while free 5-mana spells are already good without Beanstalk. I guess what I'm saying is it doesn't what does it matter? Like, what is the conclusion we're trying to draw from this? Ban Fury and Solitude? Maybe. I feel like I would rather ban Beanstalk, but if that's what you're trying to say, maybe say that instead of leaving it like open-ended, because I just don't really understand exactly what we're trying to say. Like, but also to some extent, you can't say Beanstalk would be not good without Fury Solitude, because Beanstalk has never like existed in this theoretical format. You know what I mean? Like, I think that you would still have like Beanstalk, Leyline Binding, Murderous Cut decks where it's like very powerful. There's a secret demon. I don't know how musical I'm feeling. They kill beans. Elementals keep dominating modern. They kill elementals. Beans seen zero non-bean play. I actually strongly disagree. I think that Up the Beanstalk is still a playable modern card without incarnations. It wouldn't be nearly as good now, of course, but I would register the shit out of it, to be honest. Just in like Leyline Binding, Murderous Cut decks. You know, it would work. But also like. But I also don't like the argument of like, let's ban 2 cards to keep 1 card legal. I don't often think that that's a good idea either. I feel like we played it in the Timeless Lotus deck. It was pretty good in the Timeless Lotus deck also. Secret Redemption. Up the Beanstalk! Dancing Monkey Spike. Banning Fury and Solitude because they are free would be a good choice if they would never print new cards with Delver free cards. Yeah, I know on other websites, if you say free cards are broken, you get a lot of upvotes. There are like 50 or 60, maybe even more than that, 0 mana spells in Modern. Spells you can play for free in Modern. There's like 3 or 4 of them that you could argue are oppressive and like conversational to be ban worthy. It is just like unproductive, bad argument to be like ban free spells. Free spells are oppressive. Like the vast majority of free spells are not too powerful, and just like any other design space can be designed well. It just is, you know, a tired argument, and it's never been a good argument either. Banning Fury would do this and hit scam. Wearing decks is way better than killing them. I don't know. You ban Fury, you just play like the canister version. It's still like exactly the same. I don't know. It's just so tough to talk about like banless stuff too. Maybe we should play Beanstalk instead. Where like the majority of people, they just have a card that they want banned. They just have a card that they hate and they want to get banned, and they'll just like take anything to justify like the position they like came into the point having. People have hated Fury for 2 years. They've hated Solitude for 2 years. They want those cards banned, and that's totally fine. But it's just like not, I feel like, a super productive place to be. I just disagree. I think it's totally fine stance to want to ban those 2 cards. By the way, I just mostly disagree, and I mostly just get. Like, when people come into the chat and they go, it's not Bean is the problem, it's that Solitude and Fury with Bean are too good. It's, you know, it's just like it's just said so often. It stopped having any meaning to me, if that makes sense. I just hear it every single day, and it doesn't have any meaning to me anymore. That being said, like, if you want Fury and Solitude banned, like, if Fury and Solitude are not in the format, Yawgmoth is the best deck in Modern, I think. Like, de facto the best deck with very few weaknesses. It's like, Yawgmoth is still, like, a super popular and powerful play deck that does well, like, in most tournaments, despite the format being, like, entirely, like, Fury or Solitude decks. Image 3 will most definitely have another free cycle. I don't know. They don't have to have it, but they might. Okay, so we can cast the Binding here. I want to leave 2 mana up. If I draw a white card, I'm going to evoke Solitude and then emerge the Deep-Fiend after binding the Teferi. Okay, that's the plan. Why do you think the deck is busted? He's 15-6. 15-6 is a very good record, but, you know, we were also like 25-7 with the other build into 3-2, so like 28-9. I don't know. It's a very good record over a large sample size. It's not Cascade Valky, but I think mostly people like you know, considering a ban with this like being like poor gameplay, repetitive gameplay with like slightly too high win percentage. It's like that level, not Hogak, not Cascade Valky. What creature decks actually show up when Fury Solitude are gone? For discussion, let's say Ridden 6 also goes. No! For discussion, let's not also say Ridden 6 goes. It's so... What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Why are we also... Why? Why also Ridden 6 goes? What are we talking about? You just want Ridden 6 banned! Shit! Yeah, so still unlocked. But yeah, Yawgmoth is still the best creature deck if these cards are banned, and it's also very good against opposing creature decks. Ooh, that's a big Tarmogoyf. They're playing a Teamer tempo list that Mingu's been doing well with. Alright, I'm gonna Fury the Channeler and the Teferi. Be sad I don't have 1 more mana to emerge, or still A being in play. Thanks, Veronica, for the 4 months. No, they're not playing Murktide. They're playing Questing Druid and Tarmogoyf over Murktide. Although Murktide probably better than Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf looking good here. Although I would be dead to Murktide, I guess. Yeah, Voidmere is a reasonable sideboard card. Fury chump blocking Tarmogoyf. Fury is bad all along. You want to ban this? Let's say for discussion's sake. Tarmogoyf is banned also. Did not think Besage would end up being relevant. Sorry, yeah, not Questing Beast, Questing Druid. Why do you think Bean is busted? Thought the same with the Ring, thought the same with Breach. I don't know. Like very simply put, here's my biggest thinking on Up the Beanstalk. The One Ring was a card that I think the majority of modern players came to the agreement that was very borderline in how powerful it was. It was so strong, like I think most people thought it was like borderline too powerful of a card advantage engine. Borderline ban-worthy, borderline too format warping. Up the Beanstalk is better. It is clearly better, and I would say it's even clearly much better. And so like to me, that's mostly it for me. Is that like this One Ring is close to being too good. And Up the Beanstalk is clearly better. And so, like, this makes it, like, very likely something that is going to be ban-worthy in Modern at some point. I think that's, you know... It's hard to say it too much clearer than that, maybe. Do I want to Ice, or do I want to Fairy Bounce? I think it would be Ice. No, well, we could make... If we ever get to Double Fire, we might get to Double Fire these. Is it clearly better everywhere, or clearly better because of Cascade? I think it's in the 4-color Omnath deck, which is like at this point the main surviving Bean deck, or the main surviving Ring deck. Just not playing Rin 6 and not playing Prismatic Ending and Bolt, and playing Shardless Agent and Beanstalk and not playing Ring. This is better than that. That is better, yes, than playing the One Ring in your deck. In fact, it's so good. It's good to do that. Are Tran and Amulet not surviving ring decks? Do you not hear? Do you not? I said the main surviving ring deck. I don't know. I just feel like people want to hear what they want to hear sometimes. It feels important to Fury the Channeler so they don't. I guess I could also emerge. So I can emerge and I can emerge all of their blue sources, but then those are all their red sources, so they can't find Bolt. But then they still have the Tarmogoyf in play, so I'm chumping with the Deep-Fiend. I heard lone surviving bean deck. Clip it. Like I said, the main surviving bean deck. Dude. I said this on the Dive Down podcast too, but like another really good way to illustrate how strong Up the Beanstalk is visualizing how, especially when you're comparing it to the ring. Like, the One Ring is, at the end of the day, a 4-mana card. And 4-mana spells in Modern always have the downside of having 2 copies in your opening hand, 3 copies in your opening hand, weaker to Spell Pierce, weaker to, like, counter spells in general. Like, these are, like, pretty significant downsides. This is, okay, I have a very tough call on, like, yeah, I think I'm just tapping their red sources so I don't die to bolts. I'm going to merge off the Shardless Agent. So I leave back the Bloodbraid Elf as a blocker. Up the Beanstalk, the thing about Up the Beanstalk too is it's almost never bad. There's basically no weaknesses with this card. It is, any copy of Up the Beanstalk is always a good draw, I think. Like, you're happy to have as many copies as you could possibly have in your opening hand. Maybe I could sack the Fury instead. Although I'm not died a Borrower. Yeah, Mingu was playing a Borrower. I also get to, like, maybe Binding this turn. Any copies is just always good. Like, they're good in multiples. They're only 2 mana, so it's like, it's not like drawing them is going to be bad on your mana curve. And it's incredibly difficult to interact with. There are a lot more ways to punish your opponent for playing the One Ring than there are ways to punish your opponent for playing Up the Beanstalk. There are some, but there are some in a way that is, like, I think incredibly, like, format warping. And in a big way, like, this is, like, a big reason to consider banning Up the Beanstalk, is that it is just, like, never bad. It is just never a bad card. Or, like, so rarely bad. In fact, the only time it's bad is when you have 4 in play and you're drawing your entire deck. So we can find a removal spell here, we win. Although, sorry, probably not that room. Oh, yeah, that removal spell works too. Just Solitude the Questing Druid, bounce the Brooktide, they're tapped out. Do not consider the type of gameplay a card might create in formats during card development. I mean, of course they do, but, you know, one thing about card development is you have different groups of people evaluating cards for different formats, right? So you have a group of people who will look at a set in the context of limited. You have people that will look at the context in a set in the context of modern, legacy, EDH, standard. You have, like, different specialists look at every set. I mean, I think they think they do it for every set. Talking about different formats, right? And sometimes, like, when I saw the Lord of the Rings set, you know, they want to have interesting. They do have to toe the line, but they are interested in not breaking their formats. It's not that they don't care, and in fact, it's even just kind of silly because like this is like the first, like, big design mistake I think in a long time. Like, maybe the One Ring, you could argue, but, like, this is, like, the first, like, uncommon that's, like, slipped through the packs in a standard, slipped through the cracks in a standard set in, like, 2 years, at least. 3 years, maybe. Yeah, I think this is a good way to put it. If this was 2 One Rings, this hand is a mulligan. That's a great way to put it, too. But, we have 2, like, any number of beans are always great. The card is, like, just literally never bad. What was the last big... Yeah, like, what was the last big standard set design mistake? Fable of the Mirror Breaker? Maybe, but for Modern, that card is, like, super appropriate. Leyline Binding? Maybe. Ledger Shredder? Maybe. Teferi? Yeah, I mean, Teferi was, like, at this point 4 years old, you know? That's... Like in that era, yes. From War of the Spark to Call Time. Lots of design mistakes in standard sets. After that, I don't really think... that's tough. Yeah, Tibble's Trickery and Call Time. That was maybe the last one, Tibble's Trickery. Atraxa? I don't feel like... I feel like Atraxa's amazing design. At the very least, does not feel like a design... Like, in what format is Atraxa design mistake? EDH? Standard? Shieldred? I feel like Shieldred's a great design, actually. I think they knocked it out of the park with Shieldred. So they didn't have a Force of Negation on any prior turn, and I think with 4 looks at a red or white card, I should feel safe enough beanstalking here. I feel like Shieldred is everywhere in Standard and Pioneer. Again, of course, I evaluate the Magic world through the lens of Modern, so I could be like... But, like, I've even heard recently from people that play Standard that Elesh Norn is not good in Standard. That's something I've heard from people recently. Like, I don't know if that's true because I don't play the format, but... Like, at Worlds, Shieldred was not popular in Standard, right? Like, it was just, like, not even perceived to be that good. Okay. Expressive Iteration not legal in 2 formats. Okay, yeah, sure. Iteration, maybe. Still, Iteration is, like, over 2 years old at this point, too. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, like... I feel like they've been doing a good job with design. Like, it's, like, the fact that this is, like, slipping through the cracks. This is so embarrassing, dude. It's so sad. Hogak, big mistake. Hogak, you know, 4 years old at this point. Like that's in the they're like, again, that era, War of the Spark to Cal Time, lots of mistakes. There just haven't been nearly as many since. just evoke the same fury for the 3rd time. I don't know. A lot of people ask about playing Rhinos today. This is, you know, probably should discard an agent, actually. Do you have a sideboard guide? I do want to build a sideboard guide, yeah. I think this is probably a good deck to do a sideboard guide for. I've been wanting to make a Patreon, a free Patreon, and just like occasionally write on stuff, and then like maybe charge for a tier or later. once it gets like if it gets a little bit more traction or anything. But I just like right now I'm not committing to like doing anything on it, so I don't really want to charge any money for it. Freddie with the 5 months, welcome back. Thank you. Boom with 12 months. So I don't have enough blue mana to go cast Teferi and then emerge Elder Deep-Fiend on my opponent's turn. So I think we'll just Teferi this turn. Get that money. Shit's expensive out there. I mean, you can subscribe to me here on Twitch. I have a better split now because of the Partner Plus. It's like, it's just like double dipping. Like, if you like my content, you can subscribe to me on here. This is the content I'm making here on Twitch.tv. I'm not currently planning to make content, to make like a lot of content or any content really over on Patreon. That might change at some point, and if I am making content there, I'll charge money for it. But like, there's like, I don't want you to monthly subscribe to me because every like twice a year I put out a sideboard guide. It's just not something I want to do. Yeah, I get the same split on Prime subs too. Prime subs don't count for getting the split, but they do count towards those split after you get the split. Split. Yeah, let's just Deep Friend, I guess. Professor with 25 months. One cyber guy, please. Yeah, I do want to put one out. People are like, you know, really into the deck. I like, you know, I'm down. Professor with 25 months. Thank you. Make sure you get custom values. If I build a cyborg guide for this now, I'm gonna have only a free option available at first. And you can follow me on there, and if I end up feeling like there's other, if I end up like regularly writing on there, put different content there, you can subscribe to me there. Might just run it back. I even like really like Fire Ice. Like Ice on the draw is so good. Bib through Twitch Prime, thank you. I want to give you money without paying Bezos. You can donate. You know what I mean? You can donate. Bezos does not have his hands in the donations. Smelly with the 6 months. Thank you. But it's also that like if I make a Patreon and I have a paid tier, I'm gonna feel obligated to like put stuff on there, and right now it's just not something I want to commit to, if that makes sense. It's also that like I get to just put whatever I could just put whatever I want there, like stress-free, guilt-free, and I think in that way is like doing it that way at first is better for like the creative process too, to like kind of figure out what I'd be doing with it, if that makes sense. How's the Reckless Evoke matchup? It's favorable in the kind of the same way 4-color, like regular 4-color is favored against Scam, but you can lose. Been losing to it more often since they added Shielded to the sideboard, but overall, like, you know, I'm reading it more time than we're losing to it. I think we should probably get Zagoth Triome here. Bank on drawing a red source before we get to 4 mana. I think it's insane to main deck Force of Vigor right now. I mean, I wouldn't, but it's like it doesn't seem like the worst thing ever. Like one thing I don't like about main deck Force of Vigor is you have no way to get rid of it if it's dead. Like you can't pitch it to something else. Like if Force of Vigor was like a white card and you could just pitch it to Solitude, I'd be more down. Yeah, I am going to go to SEG Dallas. Yeah, I'm not into Rhinos in the Bean Cascade. I think it's not optimal. Again, there's not like a super wrong way to build the deck, but... Alright. Still hoping we find that red source. Maybe just gonna get max punished by the Zagoth Triome this game. Although, I actually think my opponent's going to Blood Moon me, and then I'm going to be able to cast Bloodbraid Elf. That is my prediction for this turn. This is so funny. Yeah. And then I can just like hit a Teferi here too, bounce the Blood Moon maybe, or like probably just plus it for a turn. I have Binding in my hand still. I did hit Teferi. I think I just plus. That is so funny. If we draw a land next turn, we can go Beanstalk and emerge Elder Deep-Fiend. It's not anymore. Bean's worst matchup must be Narset decks. Yeah, blue-black, like ring has been seemingly tough. If that's what you mean. Decks like that. Do you sideboard out some Shardless Agents and then Cascade matchup to hit Teferi more? No. I've never cut a sideboard or a Shardless Agent when sideboarding ever, and don't recommend trying to. Is this something? It's like Shark Typhoon? Look at my hand, dude. So if they play Blood Moon, I can go 2 mana Leyline Binding. Okay, just gonna play worst card in the deck. Let's see what we draw. If I draw a land, I may just pass. We probably want to Fury at least Fury 1 Rhino on our turn. I have enough blue also. That's kind of nuts. Yeah, so now I think if I don't draw a land, we could still Fury here. I think I did draw a land, so it doesn't seem like there's a lot of point in Furying. Yeah, Scales is really, really good. It used to be not so good for the four color deck, I think, or I basically never lost to it before Bean was printed. But I think Bean is insane against Scales. Yeah, updated state of modern. Yeah, we just get to Fury the Shardless Agent, attack for 5, and then emerge the Deep-Fiend again. Probably better to emerge off of the Fury, since the 6 toughness is like so tough to kill for them. Opponent probably typing out a message here. I guess I still have a land to play too. Oh no, I played this AG. Could Saheeli Cat combo work with Cascade Bean Shells? I mean, it's a lot of slots. Royal Scions over Teferi, like, what are we talking about? Just like Saheeli Cat combo has never been a good modern combo. I don't think it would start to be a good modern combo here today. It's a lot of slots in a deck that doesn't have that many slots, and Royal Scions is not playable. They were just taking the bait. Yeah, it is very cool that Elder Deep-Fiend is like good modern card. Stronger in that shell than it is usually because it's so good with Invasion of Allura. Usually the card Felder Guardian is not that powerful. And you only had to play 2 copies of Saheeli to reasonably find it. But like that deck was also like pretty mid, you know. It like was not like a tier modern deck. Can you explain why a card like Royal Science is unplayable, but turn 3 Teferi and Oko are amazing? Yeah, Royal Science, Teferi and Oko both impact the board and have card advantage and are good against like things that your opponents can do. Like Teferi is very good against Cascade and lots of like weird combo stuff, and Oko just turns anything into a freaking elk and like builds a board presence for you. Royal Scions like loots and like +2/+0 for strike. It has a lot of loyalty, and it's cool that both abilities are pluses, but doesn't make it a good card. I think my opponent might have Orcish Bowmaster here. Maybe not. But yeah, I think I don't want to ice anyways, because ice is way better on turn 4 when you can stop them from playing their 4-drop, because they don't have any 3s. Okay, so let's get a forest, and then we can go Zagoth Triome, Stomping Ground. I've also like played a lot of Royal Scions in Modern. You know what I mean? Like, I've cast that card a lot. I know how bad it is. A lot of times when like chat's like, Spike, my pet card, what do you think about it? And I talk bad about it. It's like, I'm trying to spare you from the pain I've had to endure of casting these cards. You can't get Stomping. Sacred Foundry. Sacred Foundry. Yeah, I've almost definitely cast Royal Scions in Modern more than anybody, and we played it a lot in like Dreadhorde Arcanist Mystic Sanctuary deck. All right, let's play the Bloodbraid Elf. Now, Solitude the Bowmaster responds to the trigger. Fuck. So now they'll get 2 triggers instead of just 1, and they'll still have this. I mean, I guess I just don't do anything. I just hardcast Fury next turn and save Solitude for Shieldred. And I can also attack with Bloodbraid Elf, or leave it. I'll probably just leave it back to block the 3/3. Drawing a red card does mean I'm going to evoke, I guess. I think it's important to do this so I don't just get thought seized. And then I may actually be kind of priced into solituding this token anyway, so I can do it now so that I attack, and the board is like clear, so I can attack a card next turn. I open myself up to Shieldred kind of badly if I do this, but you know I do have outs to that, of course. I can't. I have to solitude this. I don't want to take a 7. Attack first. No, this is a 7/7. Like they're just like they get to eat it. Three cards in my opponent's hand. I can escape Cling to Dust also. Last basic. Why does Bowmaster feel worse against this deck than Ring decks? Well, at like a very simple level, this deck is more powerful, and our curve is lower, so it's harder for Bowmaster to exploit our 2-drop instead of exploiting our 4-drop. We also have more removal for Bowmaster in this build. Like with, I mean, I actually don't, because like they have Rin and 6, we have Fire Ice. It's kind of the same. But it's way easier for your opponent's 2-drop to line up well against a 4-drop than a 2-drop. I don't have any red mana in play. Wait, they responded to the trigger? I don't know about that one, opponent, actually. Get their value, I guess. It's funny. Could ice the token. Don't actually have to fire it. Could also just draw 4. So I can't cast that because they've been Field of Ruining me. I'll just go ahead and Lrien Revealed. If they have the 4th Bowmaster, I'd be kind of surprised. Yeah, let's just pass. So I have 2 red sources left in my deck, Steam Vents and Stomping Ground. Can I bait them to target my Zagoth Triome? I think I can. Of blue mana here, unfortunately. I should. They don't have another Bowmaster in their hand. I'm about to gain 3 life, I think, because they can't push this. So I think we can go to 1. Fire this token. Attack for 6. Guess they could have like March of Wretched Sorrow. It would be pretty bad, but they have to like draw something after that. Yeah. Doesn't this mean you die to a Shieldred? I die to a Shieldred basically no matter what. So I don't feel like this. Like I'm equally dead to a Shieldred if I don't take this line. Thankfully, I don't think you can get Karn off Shieldred. Or sorry, Shieldred off Karn. Get a ring probably. Am I ready for radiation poisoning from the Fallout set? That sounds kind of sick. Okay, so they got a Sundering Titan. I can keep them off of that via this Elder Deep-Fiend. Seems probably good to hold this Leyline Binding. And so I can go fetch a Hallowed Fountain. I want to hardcast this Fury because I'm not going to be able to hardcast Fury unless I do it this turn. Because they have that Field of Ruin. This is I'm out of red sources. Should have done it before and attacked face. Oh, Fury the Karn. Duh, sorry. I think that I'm supposed to evoke off the Solitude here. Doesn't actually matter if I target the Field of Ruin or not. Either way, they can like tap 2 swamps in Field of Ruin. One up being exactly the same no matter what. How many fields is that? It's like 5. Oh, just 4? So their hand is Sundering Titan, 2 mystery cards. One of those mystery cards was a basic swamp. Um, 20 cards left in my deck. I'm dead to Shieldred still. Can't besage you my own Up the Beanstalk. Feel okay about casting this. I think that's why we keep Solitude. But yeah, but we just get to kill them so fast this way. And we can still like draw into a Solitude off the Beanstalks and then be able to kill Solitude our own thing, kill Shieldred. I don't know. It feels like I'm like maybe too likely to run out of threats. Is you know what I'm thinking? That could just be flawed logic, though. I don't know. So you need to think: am I going to use both bindings here, so that I can draw extra cards, looking to maybe just draw both of my Elder Deep-Fiends. I think I'm gonna hold the binding. Was trying to get at, and kind of got punished. Just drawing every land in the deck. Found an Elder Deep-Fiend though. So if I go Shardless Agent, emerge off the Shardless Agent, I have like a better combo of lethal attackers, but I can't. But if I find my other Elder Deep-Fiend off the top, I don't really lose to Shieldred. How many Fire Ices do I have left? That's the big question here. I have 2 Fire Ices left, so that means if I just hit them with either of my creatures here, that's going to end up being lethal. So I think we emerge. Oh, I needed a shock though. Oh, hardcast Elder Deep-Fiend. Yeah, sorry. Now I'm just gonna actually evoke off the agent, but not cast the 4th Beanstalk. And we had this shock. I don't know. Maybe shocking was correct. Kind of tough against Fatal Push too. Kind of like keeping the Elder Deep-Fiend because of March of Wretched Sorrow. Just let them Titan, you bind the Titan. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, they can draw card draw into, like, Shieldred, so I think it's just better to tap their lands here. Like, I'm still beating them if their best play this turn is Titan. Although I guess I'm maybe playing into Damnation, actually, like this. Probably a good argument. Next hand is Titan Mystery card. Notably, they'll be able to flashback Cling to Dust for... Oh, I'm also not going to be able to cast Fire Ice this game, like, period. Oh, well, yeah, they weren't dead if they gained life off Cling to Dust and top decked, but maybe they didn't realize they could do that, because they were going to put a swamp in the yard. 2 swamps in the yard, actually. I think I was dead to Bowmaster. Yeah, I was. Matchup is weird, for sure. Kind of a weird, like, delicate dance. So I liked bringing in the Charmaws the last time I played this matchup. I think I more or less should be just like cutting Furies for Charmaws. Fury's good against their Bowmaster. I probably shouldn't cut all the Furies. Thing is, they're a Bowmaster deck, so like I also want the Fire Ices. Fire Ice can be good to like slow them down. But these are like the weakest cards. Maybe Teferi is worse. Could do something like 2 Teferis, 2 Furies. Seems worse without Time Warp, Commandeer Force. Weirder at least. Yeah, I mean Deep-Fiend seems good against them, but Commandeer is probably the biggest one. I don't know. Time Warp is good. Time Warp is a good card, of course. But I think that version is maybe more vulnerable to Sundering Titan. I'm not sure because it's a little slower. Cut is against Elesh Norn mostly. Okay, I love when they have Urborg because then you can just like get Jeskai Triome. We have a lot of removal spells for Shieldred. I don't think we also want Murderous Cut. Huh. I guess that's good. It's only good if it comes down before I get a Beanstalk into play, though. Maybe they don't have a 3rd land. You do have to activate this as a sorcery. Oh, we could ice it. Duh. Okay, that was a punt. They get us still for a top card isn't like a bean, though. Yeah, I don't know. I've never iced a Stonebrain before. It wasn't really a play in my repertoire, but it did seem like that was the right line. Oh, they named Leyline Binding. What the fuck? Deal. I guess they have the 1 ring in their hand. That is my answer to the ring. Yeah, they must have Ring in their hand. I mean, I think they should have named Bean. Like, if like, I'm not gonna board in Stonebraid in this matchup just so I could name Leyline Binding. I wouldn't like if you're not gonna name Beans in that spot. Like, I would not board it in. They may be planning to grab it with Karn. I mean, you could leave it in the sideboard if you just want to grab it off Karn. Get Island. Yeah, that's right. They need to board out the pushes. Sorry, I always fear that like this is people always go Spike. Why is mono no coffers better than coffers? You get to play a sideboard. Yeah, you get to play a sideboard when you don't have coffers in your deck, and can definitely see like just having to board in Stonebraid in matchups where it's awful all the time being so tough. So they missed their land drop again. To resolve Beanstalk, because that is still in the deck as it turns out. A white card would be cool. It's fine. They do have the ring. They have a land. I would not mind a Charmaw. Kill the Demolition Field for 4 mana, then evoke Deep-Fiend. Let's go. Wish granted. Yeah, we've cast Lrien Revealed. We used to Lrien Revealed's good in the deck. We used to play more, but I ended up cutting the second copy for the Besiju. It won us a game like not that long ago, just a few matches ago, I think. Okay, Bowmaster's not too scary. That's some more to 60 card and bean decks. I think it's fine. I like this. I think this build is good at 60. You can play more than 60. It's just so tough to know it's optimal. You mostly just have to go with your instinct. Yeah, no more donation deck decks. So I think we fire the Bowmaster, Fetch Shock, Stomping Ground, Charmaw the Herbor for 5 mana. I think Dimmer Ring should be on Narsets now. I mean, you already have 4 Shielded, 4 Bowmaster. You're probably okay, but you could have like a Narset at a 75. Order intentional? Yeah, I'm intentionally not letting them ping me with Bowmaster. What are we talking about? Kick a Bloodchief's Thirst. And then March of Otherworldly Light the Charmaw to gain a lot of life up to 16. Remember, they Stonebrain my Leyline Bindings. So none of those in the deck. I think I am down to bounce their ring though. The replayed is not super ideal, but like I think they're able to offset the life loss enough that just like resetting it here is fine, and we can keep up on cards with our beans. Hope we can find a second Deep-Fiend soon. Why not attack? Oh yeah, they didn't have protection. Sorry. Should have attacked. Okay, let's get Upkeep Stop to Solitude the Shieldred, I think. Yeah, I just can't take. I'm taking 4 damage even just doing it on upkeep. Shoulder is very good. This is why I'm excited about the no coffers deck too at the moment. We're probably gonna have to go to game 3. I guess I could find Elder Deep-Fiend though. Sadly, can't Charmaw this turn. Can Charmaw next turn, but it's gonna have so much cards and so much mana. Deep-Fiend? No. I guess I will put a 3rd Beanstalk into play. Can't really realistically beat another Shieldred, since they'll put me to 3, and then any answer to it is gonna throw me for 4. And I will not miss my attack this time, at least. Hard to imagine that their hand is so bad, especially after like at least 2 more cards, that they're not going to just crush me here. GG Shini with Twitch Prime, thank you. Oh, they have protection. Sorry. I've been streaming for 5 hours. My brain usually falls apart about this time. Not like we get punished with the attack. It's good for us that they didn't play a coffers also. Taking Fury is maybe not the most ideal. Okay, I get protection again. Of course, like being able to charm all the coffers. This is, you know, quite bad. Since we have to charm all, get ping for 3. We can top deck an answer to it. I guess we can't even gain life on the Solitude because they have pro white. Yeah, let's hope to draw Fire Ice off the Charmaw. We have no Fire Ices left. Right, I think we're probably gonna just be bested. I don't think that I don't know that casting Up the Beanstalk is like how realistic this is towards advancing us to victory. Just think with my brain being as fried as it is, then maybe like there just is like we could draw a series of Teferis or something. Okay. Dead if we cast the Solitude. Let's go to game 3. Get to be on the play. Anything about the numbers that feels weird? Just hard not to play 4 Fire Ice against the Bowmaster deck. Teferi's kind of medium, I guess, but it's kind of nice to like not let them like if you're gonna do like the end of turn or like attack with Bloodbraid and merge, it's kind of good for them to not be able to kill your creature on the end step too. Maybe I want the endurance in, so this could be like a concern about decking matchup, but it hasn't really been that close to decking anytime I've played the matchup before. Is cut bad. I think we just have enough answers to Shieldred, and like binding is better. I guess it's not better if they're gonna Stonebrain though. I think I'll play 1 more Fury over like Fire Ice number 4. Seeing the Turok. Okay, good hand. Leyline for Thoughtseize, Stonebrain, Turok, and pings from Bowmaster. Maybe. I don't mind the suggestion. I'm just not sure. Thoughtseize too, or as you said, Thoughtseize. Like they'll still have stuff to ping with Bowmaster. Like shutting off Bowmaster, I don't think is as important, but has Beseech the Mirror seen much modern play? Like Coffers plays a couple copies sometimes. I've tried to play it in like more combo-y decks and never been like particularly enthused about it. Okay. Endurance may be good, not for decking, but to recycle, use threats. I mean, kind of the same thing, right? I just haven't really felt like that's what these matchups have been about so far. I stream like 10 minutes past my usual 4.5, 5 hours, and I can't click and cast a Shardless Agent. Probably I'm gonna evoke Fury instead of Charmaw, I think. It's close though. Teferi the token next turn, Bowmaster off the field. Pretty ahead on cards, life total is not in the best place. But what's nice against coffers too is like they have to have like second Bowmaster if they're going to put any more pressure on me this turn. Like that's the only thing they can have. I can also draw a red source and slam a Charmaw potentially and like try to trade. Hi Athena, come here. Athena, she's staring at me. Okay, we'll just play Teferi. Yeah, almost that time. Charmaw notably only 3 mana next turn. But I don't have enough red and blue to Charmaw and Deep-Fiend. Main phase Field of Ruin. Hard to imagine that things are going to get much better for me than that. Second Bowmaster is scary though. Can I get Steam Vents? Kind of have to Bloodbraid Elf though. If I Charm, I have to shock, and then I'm like actually just not casting the third bean here. Salmon with the 5-pack, thank you, buddy. Gonna get this rep from Salmon, make sure to thank him. They stumble through this game. I guess maybe they have a 4-drop and they thought this play was better. Should have kept Fury, yeah. So I'm probably going to Elder Deep-Fiend their lands on their upkeep. Seems like it should be pretty fine to attack with both also. I guess I could also Charmaw. I could also Charmaw in this costs 4. I would have to emerge off the Charmaw, and then I'm also hoping that like the next spell I cast is either Fire Ice or it's gonna be a removal spell on the Bowmaster so my life total doesn't go too low. Like I could draw Binding here, I could draw Fire Ice, I could draw Solitude. Why attack? I'm sorry. My brain's a little fried. It's what I get for making fun of chatters for forgetting about ring protection all like last week. I forgot about it twice now. It's actually a huge pond. Athena is with me. I did know that, yeah. I have both of them, actually. So they marched okay, they marched the Bloodbraid Elf, so my opponent is very kind to just, like, remove the punt completely. Very nice of them. I could Solitude the Orcish Bowmaster now. And this would like maybe let me find a Binding, so they draw 1 less card off the ring. I could also draw a Fire, and then I could Solitude this and fire the Bowmaster. Could have besieged their field last turn. Why would you want to do that? for fun. Fair enough. Those life total is pretty high. They legend ruled their Urborg. Kind of, I mean, they certainly I feel like that is a declaration of third Bowmaster. Do I ever have? Let's Charmaw pre-combat, because if they have a third Bowmaster, they have to play it in response. Is there a better way to tap? It's like, let's at least let me agent if I don't draw anything else. Okay, so they messed up and they let me draw a single card off this Charmaw. Off this. So that's a gift. So, which allows me to... Oh no, I can't binding. I'm still dead. Oh man. I guess I just can't cut any fire ices. I also feel like killing Urborg so they can't coffers me as easily is pretty important, but my binding also costs 1 more mana if I do that, but I also can't cast the binding here. I'm just pretty priced into killing Field of Ruin and Shardless Agent and passing. And they have infinite cards and plenty of mana, so tough stuff. I think we'll be probably 1-1 against coffers overall. I feel like I could have played this matchup a lot better. No, you can't Besage your own bean. Only opponent's permanents. Yeah, I think I fetch shocked too aggressively. It's tough though. It's really hard to not fetch shock aggressively, because then, like, if you're getting basics, they're gonna Field of Ruin you a bunch. Tough though. I think I'm gonna call the stream here. I'm just so brain fried. 17-7, nothing like too crazy, but deck's still looking good, feeling good. Likely to play this in a challenge this weekend, or in the 10K in Dallas this weekend. But I don't know if I'm gonna do both. Usually like 1 day off of Magic a week if possible. We'll raid Demonic Tutors today. I think we'll play the